I think that more percentage of a larger percentage of the time, I'm not the problem.
Okay.
Oh
Well,
my
And
God.
a lot
that
of
is
it
the
has
problem.
to do with it has to do with, my situation. A lot of men just don't. They don't.
There
They
we
don't
go.
wait.
34-year-old virgin, never been married, never met a man that you even wanted to marry.
That's not true.
But you met the man that you wanted to marry, but he didn't get on one knee. So that means that you couldn't lock the man down even when you met him.
So
Facts.
the one thing that I need to change, you're saying, is just to lose weight.
I'm saying the one thing you need to change is to lose weight and to get in the gym.
What's good, my people? You know the vibes. Your boy Day back at it again. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button for more content. We're gonna just get right to it, man. Let's go.
Light-skinned shorty who is on the end is mumbling and she is very prudish. Okay? Any
I think
response?
he's probably talking to me.
Yeah.
I'm not prudish. All right, you can say whatever. Think what you want about me. It
Okay.
doesn't really make a difference. I've said, obviously, you guys have made your point that you think I'm a prude, but a lot of people do think it's very respectable to have saved yourself for this long. So I think
I would
and it's
say-
not like I've been. It's not like I'm disgusting. I don't think I'm disgusting looking. So
I would say this about, let's just grant it to you. Let's say that it's real, that you truly are a virgin, right? I would say that
Sorry.
for you being a virgin,
I could prove it to you.
I got you. Look, I'll say this because you said that it's respectable. I would say this. For you being a virgin and having sexual temperance, that is very respectable.
It is. I
But
agree.
the fact that you're 34 years old and you're still a virgin and you're unmarried, and you haven't found anyone to commit to you and someone that you want the committance from that isn't respectable. Because the reason why it's not respectable is because you only got 80% of your eggs are already gone. So you say that you holding on to your value, but your value, and you are holding on it from a sexual standpoint. Yes, you're a virgin. No one clap cheeks. That's good, right? I'm not trying to promote for you to be having your cheeks clapped. No, keep it unclapped. No applause, right? Keep it unclapped. But the not respectable part is that you should have found the man, and you should be, and you believe in, you're Catholic, as you said. You know that you're put on this planet to procreate and to be by a man's side, and you know that a woman's place is by a man's side. You know these things.
Why are you pretending like I'm unmarried by choice?
So you're saying that you're unmarried not by choice?
Yeah, I would love more than anything to have already been married and have 5 kids.
Got you. Well, that's the thing. So something must be missing. So
I don't know. I don't think it's me.
and it kind of goes like this. Here's some game, right? Because I like to give ladies game when these conversations get a little bit touchy-feely, right? So you're picky. Granted, I know you're picky. Obviously, you don't want guys that's 5'8". You're talking about his
Okay,
height.
I'm
So
a little
therefore,
picky, a little bit, not that picky, because if you
That
said my
is
ex
a
is
little
gonna be
bit
like, I don't
is an
get it.
understatement.
no, but
Right?
I know that you're picky because you haven't had sex yet, which is good. That means that your morals is high. You have great qualities about your character. Very, you got kudos to you, right? That you're. And I have an aunt. She's gonna die a virgin. She's like 68 or something like that.
That's gonna be you.
Yeah, probably will, but hopefully not, right? Hopefully you can find a man. So here's some games for you, right? So women, what they do is they advertise themselves to attract qualified mates to them, right? So the fact that you didn't meet, the fact that you want a relationship and you want marriage with a man, but you haven't found a man that you would want a relationship from, means that you're not attracting the men that you truly want and desire. Make
Sure, you
sense?
could say that, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying that you
Should
want to
agree.
look at it from that standpoint because men pitch themselves. For example, Ease, let's say hypothetical. Let's say if he's having a problem getting girls, well, I'm saying like, okay, you need to work on your approach. Since men are the ones that slide in DMs, men are the ones that normally approach women and walk up to them. Well, maybe you need to work on your confidence, get in the gym and accomplish some goals so you can become more confident and more competent and everything can just work better for you. Because since you have to approach girls, he needs to work on himself. We would all say that, right? If he couldn't attract girls.
Yeah, sure.
We got to say the same thing if the woman can't advertise herself in a way to attract the men that she wants. So that means that you got to work on self, right?
So what would you suggest?
First suggestion, like what she does, she said that she's a bodybuilder. She's always in the gym. First thing, you got to get in the gym because from a man's point of view, beauty is your most valuable agency.
I will say attractiveness
when it comes
is not my problem.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll truthfully tell you.
Can I?
Sure, go ahead.
I know what you're saying about
Yeah.
the gym because, like, men want a woman that will want to keep themselves clean, keep themselves healthy, want to work on themselves.
Yeah.
I just want to say that.
It being
Wait, that's all you had?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you're
just
saying-
wanted to say
So, and this is what I'm saying.
The
Go
part
ahead.
about being attractive is just that's not my issue.
I'm not saying that.
Well, I'm just saying that I I've never had a problem with, someone telling me, well, if you looked this way, then I would be more attracted to you.
I'm not saying that.
I don't think she's understanding what he's trying to say. Like, regardless of anything, attraction is the first thing that comes in mind with guys. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a difference between lust and really yearning for someone or wanting someone. People can lust over your figure, right? But long term wise, they don't really care about it. It's like you cannot attain certain guys because it's like, okay, they just want to try something out. Maybe they might have a fetish for wanting to clap the cheeks of a BBW, but in reality, they want to really be with a girl who's fit. And that's just really what it is that he's trying to explain to her. The guy that you want is a certain type of woman that they would give a ring to. And what he's saying is one of the main things that you need to work on is basically your weight. And you will attract those guys. You feel me? And not just attract those guys, but you will also retain those guys, meaning that that guy won't leave. And that's really what it is. And she's seeing it as, nah, man, I attract all kind of guys. No, you attract guys that want to fuck. You're not attracting guys that want to really wife you. And even if you are attracting those guys that may want to wife you, those are not the guys that you want. And that's what he's trying to explain to her. And she's kind of not trying to hear it. That's why she's giving a little bit of rebuttal. But let's keep going.
Break it down in a way where you could truly understand. Let's just speak about men first. Right. So men, we are born without any we're not born with any sexual value. We have zero sexual value when we're born. Just like she said, she broke up with her guy because, yeah, he was maybe cute, but he was inadequate. He didn't have any motivation or ambition. So he wasn't really making money. He had none of that manly, oomph in him. So she was like, I got rid of him.
He was 15.
But they started when they were young, but it ended when I was 18 or 17.
I was 18. He was
17.
16, turning 17.
Super young. So even at that super young age, women still look for certain things. They know it's embedded in you. It's in your nature. You want a man that's doing better than you, like the 4 things we said. So since a man is born without any sexual value, he has to go out there and create his sexual value. It's up to a woman, she's born with her sexual value. It's up to her to preserve her sexual value. Now, you preserve your sexual value as far as not having sex. But as far as preserving your sexual value, as far as what are men attracted to sexually, well, we're attracted to women that are fully in shape. We like the Coke figure, small waist, wide hips, or if it ain't small waist, if it ain't wide hips, it's just some type of curvature there, but it needs to be thin and healthy. That's what men are generally attracted to. Supermodels, thinner women, they get more options. More thicker women, they get less options. You got to think about it. The thicker the woman is, she's getting less options. Well, why is she getting less options, though, too?
I think this is... You're trying to say that a person... It's not completely just based on an initial attraction. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, because a lot of it is based on initial attraction, because I can walk into a room and I can walk I can be on a date with somebody, and if I'm not attracted to them when I first look at the way they walk or their hands or the way that they walk into a room, my opinion's probably not going to change.
I got you. And I'm also saying this, though.
But
go ahead,
I just want to finish my point. Sure. But it's like, I get what you're saying to a certain degree, but also you can't put all your eggs in that basket, because that's not really... That's
the only basket you have.
Yes, but I've gone on a
let me repeat that again. Look,
right?
so look.
It's not the only basket I have.
I'll repeat it again. It truly is. Look,
the only basket that matters to men.
Because I can confidently tell you,
like he just said, real quick. Just listen real quick. I'll say it one more time concisely. It's the only box. It's the only box that matters. That's the only basket that matters to men. So men, we have a lot of boxes that we can elevate in, because women are attracted to a multitude of things. You like him tall, strong, masculine, dominant, assertive. You like him good looking, smelling good, dress nice, being able to convey himself and hold the conversation and make you feel the vibes. So a man can, if he's not doesn't meet the height requirement, well, he can elevate by going to the gym, getting a better physical structure. He can elevate by talking to more girls and building up that confidence and learning ways to convey himself to a woman to make her feel all bubbly and giggly. So he can elevate on different levels. But that's because women are complex creatures, because they're attracted to so many things, which means that we can upgrade on many different things. But what are men attracted to? Only your looks. Only your looks. So that means that that's your only basket. That's the only elevation. You probably never heard the truth, but this podcast no fugazi, so we got to keep it real. So I'm telling you, please just take it. I'm telling you this. If you work on that, you will attract more mates. Now, it may not, of course, there's going to be more mates, and it may be guys that you really don't want, but still it's going to be more. You'll have different guys to then choose from, and it may be the guy of your dreams.
I can't get on that train, because you're trying.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. What he's saying is not a lot, though. Like, with guys have an easier way of understanding that. with most girls, you tell them that, they don't believe it because it's also like a lot of their friends will basically sell them a delusion or a fake dream and say, "Oh, you're perfect the way you are. This weight, you're at a perfect weight," while knowing that their friend is basically tormenting herself. She's putting herself at a crazy health risk from gaining weight. You get what I'm saying? And it's not healthy. And then the back pain they get, the knee pain that they get, which is realistic. This is not a joke. This is real. I know a couple of women that deal with this and they complain about all of the pains that they experience from them just having big breasts in itself or a big ass. So now you can only imagine if you're weighing over 250 pounds, 300 pounds at the height of 5'8", 5'5", 5'6", 5'7". That is crazy. That's a crazy weight. You might as well just drop the weight so that it could be good for your health. Not only that, even when you're married and you're trying to have kids, 9 times out of 10 you're going to gain between another additional 30 to 60 pounds. So even when you give birth, you're still going to have all of that extra weight on you that you're going to have to burn out. If you don't even work out or work on these things, you're going to be at a huge health risk in the end. And I don't understand why people don't understand that. When people tell them, look, it would be in your interest to go in the gym, they think it's just only for the guy. No, it's not just only for the guy, but it's also for you. It'll make you feel better. You'll be more confident or whatsoever. Just go to the gym and work out or eat healthier so that you can drop weight. As simple as that. You feel me? I don't know. With this whole fake body positivity movement that people be having, they only have it towards women to set them a delusion and a lie, while telling guys who are obese that they're fat. I don't get it, man. And she believes in that bullshit. Let's keep going. But honestly, with what Coolie did say though, with guys always work on it. I remember when I was in high school, there's a girl that I had a crush on. Her name was Pamela. Now she gonna know for sure. Her name is Pamela. I was in high school and I was in one of my physical, I think it was my physical education class. And me and her always used to like joke around, play around. We was mad cool. And then one day, my teacher said, "Oh wow, y'all would make a good couple." And at that time, I was this scrawny, skinny little kid, right? The moment the teacher said that shit, I kind of smirked, right? I'm hype. I'm like, "Oh, she know, hey," right? And then Pamela was like, "Who?" And I'm like, "Oh shit." Dang. And the teacher's like, "Him. Y'all make a good couple." Pamela said, "Oh, hell no." I'm like, "Oh." It's like, "Nah, I like my man stocky. He's too skinny for me." Yo, it took me 3 months. That's all I needed. Literally gained an extra 10, 15 pounds. Straight muscle. Went in my favor, bro. Crazy. I'm telling y'all, bro. Y'all be amazed. This is how life really be.
If you don't want to get on that train, I'm not telling you anything.
You're literally, yes,
You look fine. You're 34 years old. You're light skinned. You got long hair. I'm sure guys are attracted to you phically. But I'm telling you, but that's the only thing you can elevate. That's the only thing you can elevate.
Give me a second.
Now she crying.
That's okay.
Do you want a hug?
Take your time.
That's
That's fine.
hot.
Free hug.
You can't cry in a situation like this when you already call his co-host short and unattractive. Basically, you call him unattractive because he's short. So it don't make sense to really be crying or being emotional when people give you the reality that you are overweight.
No, he's basically just telling you that.
In a man's eyes, your value is tied to your beauty.
I have no value because I'm not her size.
He didn't say
he's
that.
not tell you that.
Yeah,
No.
that is exactly what you're saying. That's exactly what you're saying because you're trying to say that I'm not. I can't attract the right man because I'm not small enough.
No, he's saying what he's saying.
That's exactly what he's saying.
He's saying
I can tell you what I'm saying. Let me just tell you. Let me just tell you what I'm saying.
I would let her explain it from
My
her point
looks
of
are
view.
everything, right? So they're the only thing that matters, right?
That isn't what I said.
They're the thing that matters first and foremost
That isn't what I said.
for men. Right.
But
that was
that
right.
isn't. I'm speaking specifically to a certain thing, right? So I said that women advertise themselves. Women don't normally walk up to men, lots of men, and approach them. You don't walk up to every guy you see that's attractive and approach them. The man, and not only that, you would respect it more if a man would approach you. So men approach and women advertise themselves. So from that standpoint, since you're not meeting certain guys, right? So let me finish. Since you're not attracting certain guys that meets your qualifications, that you would want to even have them guys get down on one knee to marry you, if you're not meeting those guys, that means that you need to change something about yourself. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So
Facts.
the one thing that I need to change, you're saying, is just to lose weight.
I'm saying the one thing you need to change is to lose weight and to get in the gym.
I don't think he's saying it right, man. The one thing you need to basically do is to get healthy. If you get healthy, you're gonna lose the weight, and you're gonna be at a healthy weight. Simple as that. It's just that simple. It's not just about just losing weight. It's mainly about keeping your physique intact, working out, feeling confident. There's a lot that comes with working out that people don't understand. A lot of people who don't work out a lot of the times, they have very low self-esteem. That's just really what it is. That's the reality of it. People don't tell people. The level of low self-esteem they have is crazy, bro. All you need to do is probably do a push-up or do some jogs a day. And we're not talking about walking. Maybe in the beginning process when you're doing it, you can walk. But actually lose weight, eat healthier. You feel me? And that's what it is.
And you will become more attractive to more men.
But why do I
It's
need to
based
be-
off of beauty.
But that's never been an
Yeah,
issue
but
for
big
me.
is still beautiful.
But
I've
what I'm
never
telling
for a
you,
lot of men.
it is.
Not for a lot.
I hate that rhetoric. That whole rhetoric is what causes for people to be that big. And I'm not really trying to come at Shorty, but this is the problem. People would lie to people and tell them, you're perfect in that size, you're perfect in that weight, knowing that they had a high risk of either catching a heart attack, having too much weight on their heart to the point that when they sleep, they can't sleep well because there's too much pressure being put onto their heart or their lungs when they're positioned a certain kind of way when they're trying to lean or sleep or whatsoever. So it's like people pitch that dumbass idea knowing that they themselves don't do that. You don't eat crazy at night. You don't go to sleep right after eating. You get what I'm saying? You go to the gym and work out, but yet again, you're gonna tell her she's beautiful at that weight. Yeah, you might be beautiful at that weight, but that still don't mean that you're not obese. You can have a cute face. That still don't mean that you're not obese. That still don't mean that you're not at an unhealthy weight. Like, come on, bro.
This is
I don't want a man who's only going to judge me based on my size.
That's the
Can I-
that's
can
how
I-
it is.
That's how
can I-
it is.
can I say
We don't want a
something?
man. Look. You just called him short. We don't want a woman that's only going to base us based off our height. I'm 6'4", he's 5'8". But you said that he's disqualified because he's
But I
5'8".
didn't judge his character.
But okay, but you judge his height and he doesn't qualify for you.
Okay, but that's not saying.
And we're saying, but
that's-
look, time out. The same way he doesn't qualify for you, with your figure, a lot of guys you won't qualify for. And that's what you have to realize.
But me as a person, I'm not going to qualify for a lot of guys because that's life.
You as a
Can I
person,
say
you're
something?
great. You're.
You don't even
Let's
know
just
me.
say you're a
Yeah, I can
virgin.
say
No, let's
something
just say
too.
you're a virgin.
And
Let's
all
just
you've
grant
done
it
is
to
just call
you.
me names.
No, we didn't call you any names. I didn't call you any names.
No,
I
can I
didn't call you any names. And real quick,
Bro.
you as a person, you have. Let's just say you're a virgin. Let's say I believe
She
it.
over here
You have
lying.
sexual
I am.
temperance.
Why would I lie
You
about
have
that?
that means that you have all these characteristic traits in you that is very good. You're a person of high moral character. That's beautiful. What's on the inside is beautiful. But remember, you advertise yourself in men approach. So you want to display a beautiful outside. Just how beautiful you are on the inside, you want to display the outside. I'm not saying that you're not beautiful. I'm just saying that you can elevate yourself more.
Yeah.
He is saying be what you want to attract.
Exactly.
Not saying that you have to lose. He's not saying that. Is you want a tall, and we're old heads. We're old heads. This is just a fact. I'm almost 40 and I have never been married, and I'm not fine with it. But what are you gonna do? So like for me, one of the things in being Hispanic and
She about to chat, but I think what she meant to say is be what the person that you want wants. Basically, be the woman that the guy that you really want to be with. Simple as that. And it starts with just having good health and then looking good in shape. And then from there on, you start to listen to the things that he wants. That's a qualifier for the woman that he wants to make into a wife, and you become that woman. That's what she's really trying to say. It's just the way that she said it kind of sounds a bit confusing for me just now. But let's keep going. I don't know, my IQ, that should be hurting my brain sometimes when I hear people say it like that.
grandma, mommy getting on me is, why are you not married? You're so pretty, mommy, because there's not really, men don't want to commit. And they want girlfriend benefits without the commitment. And I'm doing that.
At the end of the day,
I
that's
played
what it
house.
is. That's exactly what it is.
I played house for 10 years. So what he's
So it
saying,
doesn't have anything to do with
but
what I
no,
don't
no,
like.
but what he's saying is,
Get to the
and this
point.
is,
Remember it,
and this
Alfred.
is something that I understand exactly what they're saying. Because if I want to attract a man with money and all of that stuff, then I have to present myself as such. So like I'm almost 40. I can't compete with an 18-year-old. She could be my daughter. My daughter's 19. I can't compete
Damn.
with that. And I'm not. I cannot bear children. I can't have children. So men my age, they're gonna look at that.
You got to be like, listen, little homie,
But
I
you know
get a
what?
guac 3000.
But what I'm getting offer, you know what I'm saying? I take care of. I'm petite. I don't work out, but you know what? I should work out. Why? Because I'm at that premenopausal stage in my life where I can gain weight. So taking care of myself physically will not only help me physically, emotionally, and mentally, right?
100%.
So it's not
Yes.
putting you down.
Thank
it's
you.
I'm
put
uplifting
out
you.
what you want.
No,
to
that's
I
not,
am.
this is not uplifting at all.
I gotta be honest.
truth is
you did it,
uplifting.
but you,
You
did
know
it
it.
wrong.
That's not the truth.
Because as women, they're emotional.
Okay.
Men are
Oh,
logical.
no, it's how he said it.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
delivery, right?
Let
It's
me-
a
No,
delivery.
but not even. It's
Okay,
it's,
sure.
it's not even.
But it was
Yeah,
more
a
of
lot
an
of it is how you said it. Sure,
It's a
but
delivery.
it's not a. But it's not a. And you know that from speaking. You know, women obviously are emotional, and men are pretend not to be. But
No, we're
Correct.
emotional.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
why she
You
said you
pretend
We're
not
just
to
less
be.
neurotic, meaning that we
Yeah.
feel less negative emotions than women.
I know you just pretend not.
Bree, she got
to
it,
be.
Bree.
So it's like my.
Yeah, he wasn't putting
Whatever.
you down, girlfriend. No,
No, but like-
Just
No,
be
So-
what
no,
you
he
want to
was.
achieve.
He
I'll
was.
speak
trying
for
to say
myself.
that.
I wasn't. Let me just speak for myself.
Okay.
Well, one, when it comes to how things are said and what is said, you're a woman of faith. Obviously, you're a virgin. You're a 34 virgin. When Jesus, you believe in Jesus. When Jesus was here, when Jesus came to earth, and he was speaking to people and delivering people from evil and saving people and doing all of these miracles.
Come on, man. Come on, Coolie. I fuck with your content, but why you gotta bring Jesus into this, man? That was wrong. You gonna bring Jesus? Jesus is chilling. Bringing Jesus into this for what, bro? Nah, I'm playing. Let's keep going.
Did he curve the way he said something?
No,
No.
there's-
No, let me
there's a
finish.
thing
Let me
called
finish.
prudence.
Let me finish. Jesus spoke the truth, and sometimes the truth, people can't handle the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. So I'm just speaking the truth to you. It doesn't matter if I coddle. If I try to coddle it,
No
it
one
maybe
said
won't.
coddle.
It won't make a change.
No one said coddle, but there's things prudence.
You could say prudence, right? And maybe you feel that I'm coming at you a certain way because you know that it's truthful.
But that doesn't. That doesn't. No,
It has to be true if you got emotional from it
I'm upset because
because you know it's the truth.
no.
Maybe
Is it?
She's trying to lie right now. She know it's like, come on, let's be honest. You're hurt from what you've heard because most guys haven't told you the truth. They just wasted your time to gain whatever kind of access they wanted to gain out of you. Now they probably didn't gain sexual access, which is why they probably stopped talking to you or you stopped talking to them. But you're hurt because you know there's truth in what he's saying. Because if it wasn't true, it didn't apply to you. What's the reason of you crying? You're crying because it triggered the emotional side out of you. That's the reality of it. And it's okay to feel hurt in those kind of situations because most guys will lie to you and not tell you the truth. I've had girls that I dealt with where I had to tell them the truth. You get what I'm saying? I had my own sister tell me, like, yo, don't lie to her, tell her. I dealt with girls who were overweight. I'm not gonna lie about that. I've dealt with that. I've dealt with shorty who was overweight and I had to tell her. I remember I kept like hesitating on when I wanted to tell her. My sister was like, nah, do you see you having a future with her? I'm like, yeah. She was like, do you see yourself having kids with her? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, then you have to say it to her because that's a huge health risk. If y'all plan on getting married and having kids now, and she weighs this weight, when she have kids, you know she's gonna weigh another additional 30, 60 pounds, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, but you know that's also gonna affect her, right? She won't be able to take care of the kids, right? The kids most likely might be big just like her because if she has certain habits and traits that she continues to do, they would have the same thing too. So these are the things that play in that order, which is why for me, I'm mad like anal on these things as far as like attacking it to be like, yo, I'm not standing for it. Now, I'll communicate it with you if you want. We could go to the gym together. We could work out together. I'll do the routines with you. But if you don't want to do it, I can't force you. And for me, I'm not going to engage or interact with someone who just don't listen, especially people who make false promises and say that they will do it. And I know for a fact they ain't doing it. So I just step back and fall back and just move on. You know what I'm saying? But she's definitely hurt right here.
Insecurity? Could it be an insecurity that you have suppressed? Because a lot of times women, we suppress things, right? And especially at our age, because people do look at.
It's not suppressed, man. Guys lied to her and her female friends lied to her. That's all it really is. It's not about it being suppressed. It is an insecurity for sure, but it's not about it being suppressed. People just lied.
as well. They're single, they're not married, you know, and I admire your discipline. And can I just say something really quick, just
Sure.
to be an encouragement? I had a client, she is Egyptian, 34-year-old virgin. She's Muslim, and I was doing her Brazilian waxing before her wedding. And she was like, Denise, I'm so nervous. And she lost her virginity at her wedding night. She got married January, and her husband bought her a house and the furniture.
What's the point?
At 34
Get
years
to the
old, and she
point.
waited for the right man. What you don't wait for the right man. Be the right woman so that you can attract the right man for you.
Exactly.
That's what it
Okay.
is.
That's what we
So
were
there's
saying.
hope for you.
Yeah.
I
There's
don't think
hope
this.
for us.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't want to sound conceited because I'm not conceited, and I know there's always room for improvement. But at the same time, like no, I'm not perfect, and yes, I can get better in certain areas.
Okay.
And I can't-
Okay.
and I
So-
can't deny that.
That's what they saying.
However,
Uh-huh.
I think that more percentage of a larger percentage of the time, I'm not the problem.
Okay.
Oh
well,
my
I
God.
think
And
that is
it
the
has to
problem.
do with no, it has to do with, my situation. A lot of men just don't. They don't.
Here we go.
Wait.
Let me ask you a question.
Exactly, and that's the.
Let me
problem.
ask you a question.
And that's why I took such offense into what you said, because it's not. It's sure I can get better, but
They don't want to wait.
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So you said that you're taking offense to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How are they gonna wait if you're not even willing to acknowledge that there's an issue that's there? Imagine if somebody's telling y'all like, "Babe, you gotta get in the gym. Like, we gotta go to the gym." You can't even say that to men. You say that shit, you getting attacked. I'm telling you, you getting attacked, man. I remember saying it to girls, and they just don't even answer. Like, they just got the stink face. I remember telling girls like, "Yo, we should go to the gym." And they got a stink face. I remember telling shorties like, asking them like, "Yo, what's your weight goal?" And they have a stink face. So it's like, you can't expect somebody to really be patient with you when they're bringing it up to you, and you're just seeing it as an attack anytime they bring it up. You get what I'm saying? Like, you talking about they're not willing to wait. Well, were you actually trying? You didn't mention anything about you trying to do anything. You didn't mention anything about you trying to get your weight in order or intact. Or maybe she might be talking about sex. Now, if she's talking about sex, that's a whole different thing too. Then be with somebody who's going to be a virgin too, if that's the case. Trust me. You're better off with that than dealing with anybody else that's already been engaging in those activities, because they're going to expect that from you regardless. That's what it is.
What I'm saying, how can you take offense to someone that is telling you that you can elevate in certain areas?
Because you could have said that.
I literally said that. I said there's many different men, and I broke it down. I said men has to he's 5'8", so that means that he's got muscles. He had to get in the gym, or he would have been a skinny 5'8" dude.
But this was-
He wouldn't get no cheeks.
But that
No
was.
cheeks.
But that was.
But no, listen, that's what I'm saying.
That was
Well,
already 10
Let me
minutes into the
finish.
discussion.
No, that did. I had to talk about men first before I even spoke about women, because I spoke about women in general. Then I spoke about you specifically. But when I spoke about men, so you can understand that we all have to elevate, right? But it just so happens to be that men were simple creatures. We fall in love with our eyes, right? Women fall in love with their ears, so a man can display other characters. He could elevate in other areas just because you're complex creatures. You like so many different things in guys, but we only like really one thing in a woman.
That's
when it comes
looks.
to attraction, that's looks. So I'm saying that I'm looking at you and I'm saying, you know what? You could hit the gym.
Can I say something?
That's a positive thing. But now let's reverse it. Let me get your answer real quick. If a man was at home in his mom's basement, 34 years old, he had no job, and he was eating cereal all day
kind
and
of
playing
cereal?
video games. Fruity Pebbles, of course. And sometimes Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops be trash. Let's give this nigga Lucky Charms.
Okay.
Hey, Lucky Charms. Next.
Yeah.
So this he ate cereal. No motivation, but he said, I want a bad chick. I deserve a bad chick. What would you say to that man that's in his mom's basement, 34 years old, with no job, playing video games and eating cereal?
No car, no life.
Should curve him. Should curve him the heartbeat.
Would you say that man has to self-improve in a lot of areas?
Yeah.
Got it. Now look at you. 34-year-old virgin, never been married, never met a man that you even wanted to marry.
That's not true.
But you met the man that you wanted to marry, but he didn't get on one knee. So that means that you couldn't lock the man down even when you met him. So that means that, well, we
I don't
look
think
at
that
it.
has anything to do with me.
Listen, we look at it. Women grant sex, men grant relationships. If the man didn't grant you the relationship from the only man that you wanted, well, that means that you need to improve on something.
Yo.
I just don't.
You have to take accountability,
I take accountability,
but you're
I don't-
not. You're
but-
running from the accountability.
No, I'm not. I'm not running from accountability.
Well, I just wanted to say-
I'm trying to say that every situation is not the same.
I know it's not, but just like you would see that 34-year-old man that's a virgin living in his mom's basement, but claiming he wants a bad chick.
One area of my life.
Well, that's the area that men are attracted to.
He's broke. He doesn't have a job.
Oh,
you
we
don't
figure
care.
out
Men don't care
basement,
about it.
like that's a
I know, but
compounded
listen,
situation.
men don't care about women's money. Men don't care about women's competence. Men don't care about women's money. We don't care about women's competence. We don't care about women's height. We don't care about all the things that you care about in a man.
You see how crazy it is when he's like calling her out and trying to hold her accountable, and she just goes to attacking the so-called man that she saw a future with. You're calling him broke and saying he has no money, he has no nothing, right? But yet again, you wanted a man. You wanted a future with a man who had no money, who was broke. You wanted him to propose to you, but he didn't. Make it make sense. I don't understand how that was like a flex to throw, or like saying that, thinking that, oh yeah, this is like, wow, I'm this person, I'm better than him. No, you're just as dumb. You wasted your time. That's all it really is. You just that's dumb. You still couldn't secure a broke man. Come on.
Action isn't symmetrical, it's asymmetrical. So you became the man that you want. You got a good job, you're doing things and all these type of things, but you became the man that you want. So all these other guys that you're meeting, they don't qualify for you. But the only guy that did meet your standards, guess what? You didn't qualify for him. So we're just saying that you can elevate on the beauty aspect because we're simple. We want cheeks. We want the waist to be blickety blow. That's just what we want.
I just want to say something quick. I just wanted to say that
You go next. I got
I
you.
really wasn't offended. Like, you gotta understand, I'm a black man, so I get judged every day because I'm black with tattoos. They think I'm dumb. I had girls say, "Oh, you're cute for a black guy. Oh, you're short. I'm sorry, if you were 6 foot and up, then I hear it all." But like, I'm confident in myself, and what I do understand is everybody has a type, and I know that I'm not everybody's type, and I'm okay with that because I've met so many women that I'm everything they want. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure there's guys that will accept you just the way you are, but most guys like women fit. You know what I'm saying? In shape. You know what I mean? I can't point out a body part, but
I'll be honest.
I know a lot of guys that would not look at you.
You light skin with the long hair, if you had the body, you'll be fine. Let's just be honest.
But yeah, in general, just want to say that.
I have a question for you, men.
Sure.
Now, I don't really know how old you guys are, but if you
35, 34.
Okay.
I'm 34.
So if you guys met someone, they don't have to be like in like the same age as you or anything like that. But if you guys met a woman and she was deciding to make the same commitment that this beautiful woman right here has been choosing to make to stay a virgin and, really find the right man, like, would you guys even consider trying to like talk and pursue something with someone?
Go ahead. You're fine.
Would you guys try to pursue and talk to somebody who's willing to wait that long?
Oh,
or would
like her?
Yeah, like how do you
Wait,
guys think
34
about?
years?
Well, let's say you met her,
When she was
not
younger.
34 years ago. Let's say you met her when you guys were 20, 25. Like, would you guys even consider
I see what
giving
you're
her a
saying.
chance?
Yeah, like,
maybe you
would
guys
we
can
get
wait.
with the chick that was waiting for marriage?
Yes.
I would say if that girl is a virgin, that's a great thing. Yeah, like if.
But is it like
waiting-
something that you guys aren't willing to really wait for because you're so addicted to,
No, I mean,
we're willing.
Ease, you would wait for a chick if she was a virgin and she was bad. Your type?
If I met a chick that was a virgin, that was my type, and she said that I'm not gonna have sex until we got married, and especially if she likes me and she doesn't height shame me, I would marry her. To be honest with you, I would like to get married, but I'm scared to get married because a lot of marriages end, and usually it's the women that are divorcing men. So I'm actually scared to get married, but I would love to get married and live happily ever after. But it's just not the way it is. But to answer your question, yes.
And generally, I would say most men will, because men, we seek out purity. So like, why do you think that, like, think about what marriage is. Marriage, why the woman walks down the aisle with a white dress, because that represents virginity, purity, right? Yeah. So if a man is going to be marrying a woman, and you got to think about it from like hundreds of years ago, the family or the father gave his daughter to another family son that was they respected that family, and that man had a good future for him, and he could provide a good future for his daughter. So it's like,
yeah, it looked like big girl left. I think she got pissed and left.
oh, I have a virgin for you, and your son can have this virgin. Now let's trade and make deals. That's kind of how they did things, because the virginity in a woman is very valuable. So it's good that she held on, like I said, it's respectable. But for 34 years, it isn't respectable because you're doing something wrong. You can't attract a man and retain the man that you want. So obviously you're lacking in certain traits, and which is okay. You know what I'm saying? That's totally fine. She should click the link in my bio. I'll do coaching. I'll help her out. She'll be good. But anyways, any other questions on this topic for you? I know you wanted to say a few things, so right?
It's interesting. I feel like everyone has an interesting perspective, and I feel like I understand where she's coming from. Like, it's a sensitive topic. Like, before I even got into bodybuilding, I was heavier before I got into the gym. But if I didn't take that moment to self-reflect and realize that I needed to work on myself and feel better about myself, I was never going to like attract good, positive, vibes in my life.
Yeah.
But like, you just, whatever
You
you're...
attract the bottom feeders.
Exactly.
Like, you attract the dude that can't
you know,
get any
and
girls.
Taryn's great, you know, and she's over here saying that she wants, you know, someone who's tall, handsome, wealthy, and everything.
But then what does that man get in return? Yeah.
Yeah.
Taryn, you good? You coming back on, or are you gonna leave?
Yeah, I just need to not look like this.
Okay, got you. No worries. Take
She
your time.
didn't leave. She's still
No,
there.
but I definitely understand, like, when I was heavier and not really working on myself at a point in my life,
Yeah.
it's not like I was getting all this attention. Obviously, now that I work on myself,
You see the
I'm-
attention,
and
the quality of guys are better.
Yeah, that's correct.
Exactly.
It's a thing. And also with me, like, working on myself, actively working on, like, being a healthier, like, the healthiest version of myself.
Feel better.
I feel better.
Yeah.
I look better, and I'm obviously attracting better. It's just, it's
Yeah.
all in what you're putting out is what you attract.
Bree,
That's
you was
all
gonna
it's
say something, right?
about.
Well, I was just gonna say I
Yeah.
relate to you because I said I used to be bigger. Now that I've lost weight and I've focused on my body and I eat better, people really do come around. Like, it
Yeah.
actually made me really sad because I was like, wow,
Yeah.
like. But I also did attract different people when I was bigger
Yeah.
as well. I
See?
feel like a lot of the people that I attracted when I was bigger were genuinely there for my personality, 100%. Like they really
And I got a question
accepted and
because
loved
since
me.
Real quick before you get to that, and I just want to finish this topic real quick. Chat, just pay attention to what just transpired. It's funny because before the podcast started, you was here the last time someone cried.
Yeah.
And you said that, I hope no one cries this time. And then you even said that, I don't think anyone is going to cry. I said, nah, probably will. Who knows when the conversation gets going. And it's funny how these two young ladies, you're 19, how old are you?
23.
23. You lost 30 pounds.
50.
50
I used to
pounds.
be 186. I'm now
That's-
less than
wow.
140.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Right.
That's
And you
that's
said that
huge.
you were on a journey as well.
Yeah.
And both of you ladies are in shape because you went from somewhere and then you lost weight. And you confirmed that, one, most importantly, I felt better about myself.
Right.
But secondly is I feel health. The thing is I'm healthier, truthfully. And then the third thing is I was able to attract more quality men. And that's exactly what I told her. But she couldn't understand that. And you two are prime examples of it. Like, you literally switched some things up in your life, started working out, and things went better for you.
Yeah.
So.
At the end of the day, you can't sit back and think that you're a 10. Because there's always
Always room for
al-
improvement.
there's-
Always.
Exactly. There's always
Even
room
if
for
you're
improvement.
perfect model.
There's always room for
And
improvement.
she thought I was coming at her. I was speaking, and it's the thing, right? Like, when it comes to this, I was speaking to the queen in her. Like, all human beings, we got the fool in us, or the king or the queen in us. Like, the man, he has a fool in him, but he also has a king in him. And that woman should always speak to the king in him. A woman has a fool in her, but she also has a queen in her. Me speaking to the fool in her would have been, you just as good as you are. Those guys are the problem. But I spoke to the queen in her and I said, listen, you could do much better than where you are at now. You can rise up to another level. And that's one of the things, is increasing your beauty by going to the gym and losing some weight. So I'm speaking to the queen in her because I want her to be better. But the thing is, in this world, it's socially unacceptable for men to speak to the queen in a woman. If we speaking the truth to a woman, it's looked at,
No,
oh, you're
that's the
being
truth.
negative. You're speaking down on me. You're shaming me.
It's okay
and a
for-
bunch of other things, right? So it's crazy how she was
Say it.
speaking down on him, right? And we ain't say nothing about it. We kind of
say
let that
nothing.
go
I ain't say
until she got mad and was like, oh, okay. Oh, you only choosing the white girls? And then we like, wait, you disqualify him because he's 5'8". What's going on with you, mama? So
I don't even
yeah.
think she's ugly.
She's just older.
But yeah, anyway.
So if you like that clip and you want to watch more,
Honestly speaking, I think they spoke no wrong in there. It's just the reality. People don't like telling women the truth, and people would rather sell them a dream and lie to them and enable their delusion. So because of that, they also believe in it, and they're going to continue to preach that, oh, I'm perfect at the size that I'm at, although it's a big health risk. You feel me? And then even with the question that the girl was asking, was basically asking if guys are okay with being with a virgin. 100%. 100%. I'm just being honest with y'all. The way how men and women think are very different. If you ask a lot of women if they want a guy that is a virgin, they're going to tell you no, because they like for their man to have experience so that their man can teach them things. And for guys like teaching women things. That's the reality of it. So ain't nothing more that a guy's going to be more excited about than teaching his woman new things that she has never experienced before. Because then he can say that, oh, he was the first. And she can also say that he was the first to teach her these things. That's just the reality of it. The way how guys view things and the way how women view things are very differently. We're not the same when it comes to that. We want different things. I'm being honest with y'all. Most guys cherish a woman who has purity and is basically innocent. That's really what it is. that stays away from all of the toxicness or all of a bunch of different guys. Now, I'm not saying that to shame anybody, but that's just the reality, and that's just the ugly truth that most people don't talk about. And that's what I'm here to talk about right now at this point, you feel me? So it's crazy from what I've seen so far. She did shame him about his height, saying that he's not attractive because of his height. Uh, she said that she basically is attracted to taller guys, and she's not attracted to shorter guys. That him being short, she's not attracted to him because of that, because of his height. Which that's something that he can't control. But your weight is something you can control. The reason why you're at a certain weight is because of you. You eat a certain way. You know how to control your weight, but you refuse to do it. And a lot of the time, the truth is, the easiest way for you to gain weight is from you being lazy. That's like the ugly truth that most people don't tell people. You gain weight mainly from you being lazy, from you being comfortable, from you being like, you know what? Let me go buy some burgers and just eat and sleep. I'm not even gonna go for a jog, not gonna go for a run. I'm gonna just eat some burgers and just eat and sleep. Knowing that every day while you're doing that continuously, all you're doing is just killing your health, killing your health, killing your health. You know what I mean? And the more people enable it, the worse it's gonna become. And I wish more people would speak out on this, man. I wish more people would speak out on this and tell people the truth. Yo, stop. This is bad. If you don't stop, you're not gonna live long. This is the reality of it. When people are telling you this, they're not telling you it to belittle you. They're not telling you it to humiliate you. They're telling you this because they actually care about you, and they're not trying to shame you. Stop thinking that every time somebody asks you about your weight or your weight goal, that means that they're offending you. No, we're not trying to offend you. The reason why you're getting emotional is because you know that there is truth to it, and it hurts you, and you felt like you got struck in the heart with the truth, and most people haven't told you that. And people who care about you, people who love you, will tell you the truth. That's just the reality of it, man. So thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And we're out.